Hi guys, welcome to Accounting with Naomi. Right, so in this channel, we're going to take you through all the accounting basics that will help you at work. If you are an accountant, if you're a bookkeeper, a student, doing your qualification towards accounting, then this is the channel for you. So today, I'm going to start you with a series on Sage 50 Pastel. Okay, we're going to do pastel accounting. So hope you're ready. Hope you're ready. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're doing pastel series, and the very first video that we're gonna do is how to create a company in pastel. Okay, so pastel Sage 50 basically says Sage 50 Pastel Partner is an accounting software. Guys, we no longer do manual accounting, okay? The way the system is, the way the world is going, we all moving into accounting systems, right? It's the same accounting principles that we know, but we're moving into computers, all right? We're doing it online, right? So there are systems that we're working on, and one of the most popular systems that you can use, an accounting system that you can use, is Sage 50 Pastel, all right? Now, another popular one we use is Sage Cloud Business Accounting. I'm going to do that on another video. I'm going to cover Sage as well on a whole series on it. Today, we're going to work on Pastel. All right, so what is basically the difference? First of all, Pastel is a cloud-based accounting software that offers a range of features for small and medium-sized business. It allows you to create invoices, track expenses, manage inventory, generate report, and many more features. All right, so basically pastel accounting is a desktop accounting. In other words, once you have installed the software into your laptop or your computer, you just use it anytime. You don't need internet to operate it. While Sage Business Accounting, Business Cloud Accounting, that it's done online and you will need to have internet in order to use it. All right, but with pastel it is a desktop accounting. You once installed, you just continue. Okay, guys, let's get into it. So how to create a company? So after I have purchased the software, installed the software, did all the settings, then how do I create my company? Right, that's what we're covering today. So as you can see, my pastel software is open. To create a company, you click on, so you go with me, you click on file, click on new, so it's new company, file new. Right, then you put in the name of the company. Okay, right here, you're just gonna put in maybe an abbreviation of your company, right? Let's say my company is Accounting with Naomi Property Limited. So I can just maybe put account, all right? Okay, that will just be what to represent my company every time I want to come and do anything to the company. Okay, guys, you're welcome to create a lot of companies. Okay, you can create a whole lot of company in pastel depending on the package that you're paying in. So you have options to have more than one company basically. So the numbers depend on the package that you pay. All right, then there are four methods, as you can see here. There are four methods that I can use to create a company in Pastel, but the most recommended method is the setup assistant, which is, you can already see it's already selected, use setup assistant. This is the most recommended, and I recommend that you use setup assistant. It is easy for you to create a company because most of the settings would have already been placed. You're just adding on top of what is there. It gives you a guidelines. It shows you the way as you are creating the company. Now, you don't have to be an IT specialist, or you don't have to be a specialized accountant. Also, any person who has a small business want to do their books, they can be able to create a company in pastel using setup assistance. Other methods are, you can copy another company. All right, a company that's already been there, you can copy another company. This starts a new company. This one requires a lot of settings, so it requires you to really understand IT, to understand accounting in details, all right, to really know the system. Okay, if you use the start new company, and then you can create from a backup. Okay, I'll also show you how to backup in one of my videos. All right, how to bake up a company. You can create. So let's say you started up a company in another laptop, or you use the software in another device, and then now you want to change the device into another device. So what you can do is you back up whatever you have, then you can use this option create from a backup, and then you can create your company. Okay, but if you are starting afresh, new, then use setup assistance is the right. So you select the method. As you can see, our method is already selected. Use setup assistance, then create. All right, you click on create, and then this is what I was talking about. Okay, setup assistance will give you guidelines on how to create your company. Right, so you can see here it even gives you an explanation that's going to be a maximum of 12 screens that you would have to go through, not all, maximum. All right, so once you're here, this is just an explanation of how Pastel setup assistance works on. So it tells you the setup assistance creates company data in a standard editable format. Once the company is set up, you can modify whatever you need to. If the setup assistant gives you choices which do not match your requirements exactly, choose the closest option to the one you require, all right, and modify it later. The setup assistants create a full setup and ready to use company within a few minutes. There are a maximum of 12 screens in these assistants, including this screen. So you're counting from here. Click the next button to continue with the setup assistant. See, it's telling you even what to do. So we go next. Then here I put in my company details. So I said accounting with Naomi Property Limited. So I'm going to type in my company name. Accounting with Naomi. I'm just trying to make it look like like a company. Let's say it was a private company. Then you put in your postal address. It has to be correct because this is what is be showing on your reports. Whenever you give out your report, your financial statements, your invoices, and so forth and so forth. These are the details that's going to be shown. So it has to be done properly. All right. So let's say it's PO Box. I'm just creating any PO Box 211. Let's say this is Pretoria, or I can say this is in Sunnyside, Pretoria. All right, enter. I'm using enter. You can use tab to go to the next line. Right, let's say it's 0002. This is my postal code. Any other information that you wish to add onto your address, you can wish to add this information, or you can leave this out. It's not a must. Okay, it's optional if you want to add any other information. But what I needed here is my company name and my company postal address. Then you click next. Now the date format, it is up to you how you want your date to show. This format is a setup that you're doing, and this is what is going to be showing in all your report. All right, so if I want my date to show by day first, month first, or year, I can choose the first option. If I want it to be month first, day, year, or if I want it to be year first, month, and then the day. All right, you choose which one you want. Okay, I'll go with the first one. I'll go with the day, month, and year. So already selected, so it's okay. Then here, please choose the format. Do you want it to be a 2-digit per year? All right, for example, 2023 to just say 23, or do you want it to say 2023? I want 4 digits. I go, okay. It is up to you. Now, check the sample at the bottom here. Check the sample. It says 31st January 2001. This is a sample. This is how it's going to look like. Okay. Once you are happy with it, and you can see the separator here, it gives you the separator that we're using, and then you click next. Right, then you put in, this is the most crucial part of this. When you're setting up your company, when does your financial year start? So when you register your company through CICP, all right, you choose your financial start year, when your year is starting. Okay, this is very important in accounting. You get the date wrong, every processing becomes wrong. So this is very, very crucial. Like, very crucial. All right, I want to use the simplest year ever. I'm going to start from January all the way to December. Now, financial period can start from any time. Okay, it can start from like we know the budget here, the financial statement will start from 1 March and in end of February. Okay, so it can start from any time. Let's say my year starts in September, so it's going to be 1st of September and then it ends in 31st August, so it can end on any time. All right, so it has to be 12 months. It doesn't have to be January. I'm going to use January to make it simple, to use the simplest. So I click here. You see here the drop down arrow, and then I go to Jan. I select the 1st of January. All right, make sure this date is correct. If this has a problem, you are doomed because it will process whatever you have put here. Now, once you are sure when it indicates when should it end, please always use last day of the month, please. Okay, and last day of the month, and next. All right, how many period? Please listen. Use 12 months. Don't use 30. In accounting, we use 12 months period. All right. Don't complicate yourself by putting in 13 period. Like I say, specify the number of periods. You can specify up to 13 periods per year. Guys, we have 12 periods in a year. January to December or any other month you're starting with, whenever it ends, it has to always be 12. So this 12 is correct. All I need to do is to click on next. Right. Do you want, now these are your charts of accounts. These are the accounts that you're going to use. Do you want to use generic chart of account? Let's click on the drop down arrow. These are all my options. Depending on the type of business that I'm doing, I can use generic chart of accounts, which will actually cover every type. If the business is not so much complicated, I can use generic type of account. If I'm running a service, all right, like a dental service, I'm a doctor or whatever it is, I can use service. If I'm running a retail store, I can use retail. If I'm into manufacturing, I can use manufacturing, retail point of sale, body corporate, computer retail and manufacturing, construction, engineering, garage, farming, especially farming. If you're running a farming, it would be best that you choose here. If I'm running a church account, right, then I can select church account. If it's a non-profit organization, I can select that. If it's a school account, if it's a medical practitioner, restaurant, and so forth. These are all your options. So you've got 22 options that you can choose from. Okay, now because you're trying to make this as easy as possible, I'm going to use generic chart of account. So I'm selecting generic chart of account and next. All right, now how many cash books do you have? All right, the minimum you should have should be at least 2. Okay, always have a petty cash account for your petty cash expenses, and also if you're using another account. Right, I would always suggest that you have your petty cash account as well. Okay, so what is your main account? So have your main account, have your petty cash account. If the business has more than one account, then you can list all the accounts that you have. Okay, but minimum should be at least 2. So you see here where it says enter the number of cash books, you can put 2 there, and then you press enter on your laptop, enter. Right, once you press enter, you see it automatically opens 2 accounts. Then you can type in the name of their accounts that you're working with. Okay, let's say I'm working with Nedbank. So I'm going to type in Nedbank. Now you type it, okay, as my account. This is my main account. Then I go to the second one, always have the petty cash, like I'm saying. Whatever account you have, always have petty cash for your cash expenses, your small expenses. Right, then you click next. Now here it's the price list. Very important when you're running a business, you should have price lists. Very, very important. Okay, so it says here you can have more than up to 10 different price lists. Up to 10 different price lists. So I can have, for example, let's say I sell to others, I sell on cash, to others I sell on credit. All right, so I can say my first price list can be cash, and then my second one will be credit. So these are the ones I sell on credit. You can call them different names. Okay, I'm just using the easiest. Right, you can call them different names. So these are my price list. Let's say cash, credit, and maybe my third, I can have a third price list if I want, or more if I want. I'm just going to stick to 2 for now. All right, so you're up to 10. I'm sticking to 2 for now to simplify it. So if you have more, you just keep typing whatever name that you're giving to them. Now you have to have the most common. Who do you sell to the most? Is it the cash customers or is it the credit customers? All right, you choose. All right, let's just say my most common is the credit customers. Okay, I use that as my most common price list. Okay, then I set it and I click next. Now the default term, this is very important. So if you're selling on credit, what are the default term? When should people pay? Customers, when are they supposed to pay? All right, so we're not going to use day-based, we're going to use period. It's going to make it easy for us. So we select period. Once you click there on the selection, period, this comes up. How? Current, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. How should customers pay you? When you choose 30 days, you're not necessarily saying 1, 2, 3 up to 30. You are saying a whole month. 30 days represent 1 month, a full month. 60 days represent 2 months. 90 days represent 3 months, and 120, and so forth and so forth. All right. So the normal one that we would use for a customer, normally we'll give a customer one month to pay. It can be 2, depends on your arrangement. So I'm going to select 30 days, which represents a month. Then I click next. Customer default. Now, which methods do you want to use on your processing? Remember, we're going to do a whole lot of printing in Pastel, all right? It's simplify things for you when you want to do invoices, when you want to do sales orders, when you want to do quotation, and so forth and so forth. All right, and any other printings that you want to do, let's say listing, customer listing or customer supply listing, remittance, and so forth. Whatever you want to do, how do you want to process it? So there are 2 methods that you can process. Okay, you have open item processing, you have balance forward processing. The difference are, right, with open item, you allocate payments to 1 or more invoices. This gives you accurate aging, but takes longer for you to process. With this method, you can choose between day-based and monthly terms. Now, the good thing about open items, it's that it matches the invoices and the payments or the receipts. Okay, so let's say a customer bought on credit on the 10th of January. They bought items worth 5,000 on that time, and they're supposed to pay for, if I buy in January, I'm supposed to pay end of February. All right, so by end of February, a customer comes to pay. All right, now it will match that this 5,000, the money they're paying now is for the 5,000. So even if I have more, let's say the customer bought again in February and in March, but now they pay what was due in January, it will match this payment versus the invoice. So even if they have 10 invoices, it will be matching that this payment is for this invoice, this is for that. That's a good thing with open item. Then balance forward. Here you simply enter the payment, and Pastel X approximates the aging. So you see here, it does not match for you. It just approximates the aging. All right. This is it's quicker to process. With this method, you can only use monthly terms with this method. Okay, but with open items, you can either choose day-based or monthly. So those are the difference. Right. Although they say balance forward is quick, the easiest one to work with is open item. It's always good to have aging. All right, aging is very important, especially if you are selling on credit. So you do your aging, aging that tells you when the customer was invoiced and when they paid. Are the customers paying on time? Is very important because you can do a report on that. So I'm going to take open item processing and select that and click next. Then how do you want your document to be printed? This is very important, right? So we're going to click here where it says paper style assistance. We select plain all the time. Okay, you can do pre-printed if you want, or a header pre-printed. I would suggest you go for plain, all right, because you're going to do your other all the other items that we're going to do when you put your setups and everything. Okay, rather use plain. All right, then click next. Right, how should it be printed? Single sheet is always best. So you select single sheet. You also have an option to use continuous papers if you want. Then next. All right, so it says click the finish button, all right, because you are about to change your document setup to plain single sheet paper. Then you click finish. All right, you can even see here it also changes to plain and single sheet. I would advise that now you also go to your control panel and make sure your paper size is at A4. A4 will give you an accurate print. Okay, so please make sure your paper size is A4 on your control panel in your computer. Right, then click next. Right, you have just created your company. All right, so it says Pastel now has all the information it needs to create your new company. To create the company, click the process. So we are now ready. We are sure. Here we are. Process. Boom. Very wait, it's processing. Oh yeah, we are done. You have finally created your company, and then you click finish. Now I cannot just do that. I need to put in a password. All right. Now the password we're creating here is the user that has access to everything. This is your supervisor. This user is referred to as a supervisor. All right. This is a user that can override functions in your system. This is the user that will have ability to do anything, will have access to every menu or function in your system. Okay. Now, Okay, don't force the password because at least you can be able to change it whenever you want to. Enter the password now. Remember, guys, password have different elements. Okay, so in your password, make sure your password is not the simplest that people can easily get. All right, just have different elements. I'm just gonna put in. Make sure you have different characters. You have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special case. All right, within your password. Okay. Now, you need to know what you are writing, otherwise you may be duped. Because you have to confirm it. All right. If it does not confirm it, it will not take it. Then your username, you can put a username. I'm going to use Naomi. All right. Email, Naomi at rikeza.com. Okay, this is just any email. It can be your office email, it can be Gmail, whatever email that you're using, you put it in there. Office email is the best. Now you have to have a security question in case you forget your password. Make sure you don't forget the security question and the security answer. Okay, so the security question is going to be, which channel is this? You create your own, okay? The one that you won't forget. Which channel? Accounting with Naomi. Right. And then once you're sure of everything, you press OK. If it is not right, if your password is not matching, it will refuse it. If it takes it in, that means you are ready to go. Now, before we click OK, I want you to notice what's happening in our screen here. Everything is grayed out. All my functions are grayed out. Like, let's give some life. Let's give some life to the system. All right. Once you put your passwords, you click OK. See, it says the password do not match, and I did this deliberately for you to see. So what do? I need to make sure I have a password that matches. Right, then okay. You see, it goes through. If the password matches, it goes through, and please see some life in here. See some life in here. You see life? That's life. All right. So that's basically how it looking like. At the top here, I'm using an educational software. There are different ones that you can use depending on the business that you're doing, depending on how big your business is, how small your business is. Educational software is what I'm using here. Okay. So you have options in your Sage. If you go to the Sage website, you have options to choose which package suit your business. All right. But this one, anybody learning from here should be able to do any other package as well. All right. So you have just created your company. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like our videos, subscribe to our channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe, share this video with your friends and families. Like our videos, comment, what would you want us to do more? All right, are you stuck? Did you manage to create your company? If there's any question, if you're stuck in any way, please do comment and I'll come and assist you. All right, you can also recommend videos that you want me to do for you going further. All right, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.